Welcome, this is the jungle. We're playing Riftbreaker, and we are going to start a new campaign. We're going to try difficult hardcore mode. They just recently you can customize the diff. But I haven't beaten in hardcore mode. I have done it in easy, normal and brutal. So we're gonna try in hardcore mode. I died lots in brutal, so it'll definitely be a version of fighting the enemy. As before, it was just a Rambo, so I'll have to strategically play a lot better. This is one of my favorite games. I've been playing it a lot lately, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Central play a little bit.
Riftbreaker Ashley reporting successful jump procedure.
Roger that. Begin field-based setup.
Houston, I've spotted something near the LZ. It's closing in.
There you have it. No. So that's it. Now we're here. So I found that it's a lot easier sometimes, depending on your starting location. If you're lucky and you get a good starting location with lots of carbonium nearby, possibly even some impassable terrain to protect it. Like this right now, we got awesome impassable terrain to help with defense. 15,000, that's pretty weak.
Welcome to Galatea 37, Mr. Riggs. It's so beautiful here. Virtual simulations on Earth were good, but this is amazing. An alien tropical paradise. And we're the first humans to experience it.
I'm not exactly human. You have a few parts missing as well. And the paradise part is also left to be determined. Remember your training, Ashley. We should set up a base as soon as possible.
You could at least pretend to be human. Just a bit. But you're right. There's no going
50,000, that one's good.
Construct a functioning rift station. Let's start with the basics.
And 45,000. Pretty good setup. Get an iron deposit. Not a big deal if it's not, but
build an HQ. Let's scout for a deposit and set up our base close to it. We need to move quick. It's probably a matter of time before the natives spot us.
Doesn't give us much advantage early on with the impassable terrain that we got right by, so we will start building.
We've gathered enough resources to construct a headquarters building.
Finally. Let's place it close to a carbonium deposit. This will help us speed up resource production. Headquarters construction is in progress. This is going to be our main base of operations.
So you can mine and build at the same time, which will save you a ton of time and just make it overall simpler.
You will be teleported here whenever I am critically damaged. There is no other backup if this building is destroyed.
That's basic training, Mr. Riggs.
So have you seen how that turned dark there, darker gray? That's because it wasn't building the building structure, I guess you could say.
Our base will require huge huge amounts of power to operate. Right now, we can only construct some basic power plants, wind turbines, and carbonium power plants.
Wind turbines are less effective, but they work around the clock. Carbonium power plants are very effective, but they use up the deposits that they are placed on.
In the beginning, it's best to use a combination of these power sources. We can balance energy peaks and shortages by storing excess energy in energy storages. Also, remember to connect all buildings to the power grid using energy connectors. They connect all buildings within their area of operation, even if power lines are not visible. Ashley, I'm sure that our presence will not go unnoticed. We should build up our base as quickly as possible.
So building a couple mines real quick.
Standard protocol advises
This big thing, we need to get a
walls and
defenses
towers
going
around the base.
and
However, I don't expect as much aggression
get
from
enough
native
iron
fauna as
for
in
maybe an
simulation.
armory before the first wave.
So far,
Probably won't get the armory
long-range
built, but
scans were very accurate.
we also need to get enough power to run us through this the first night.
The environment
That will
in
be
the
our goal.
simulation was very
Some batteries
accurate. That's
going.
true. But the scenario was crafted by Riftbreaker Command. They usually focus on the brute force aspect of these missions.
Hopefully we can gather up some solar power before they're about to go down.
You never give up, do you? Okay, Mr. Stubborn.
Should we
I guess it
probably-
won't hurt to set up some
Yeah,
solid
they just went
defenses,
down.
just in case.
Thank you, Captain Novak.
You're welcome, Mr. Riggs.
And we burned through our power. Which is okay. So we definitely won't be getting the armory time.
Not enough carbonium.
Not enough carbonium.
So this will store extra resources for us. Very big, big necessity.
Not enough carbonium.
Get some iron mines going. There, we're starting off not too bad. We still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds until the wave comes. So, I do feel like I kind of misplaced a couple of these buildings, them being offsetted.
To construct an armory, it
but it is a little too late for that now.
And also manufacture field repair kits, as well as other usable items.
And it will produce more
And I'll pretty
munitions
much
and
mine this
guns.
whole time
Yes,
until
it
I
is an
am
important
ready.
building.
This is all be temporary just to deal with the first wave. And I'll have to rebuild that for a third time. Shh. My dog's growling. So, now that we got our wall up, we can work on getting our towers up. We got 1 minute left. We should have enough resources to just slap them down whichever direction. So it'll show us where they're coming, and we will then deal with them accordingly. I find it's always pretty laggy when the save comes on.
I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards our position. It looks like our presence is being noticed.
Bridge is full.
Ashley, we don't have a lot of defense. Structures. Prepare to fight.
So we will
I
wait
can see you're right
until
about setting up more defenses. We'll have to handle this
no,
ourselves. Remember to
slap
use
them
the
down
rockets
real
if
quick.
necessary.
Like this.
Armory construction finished. We can now use it to craft new items. It will also automatically manufacture ammunition for my weapons.
I want to go out there and sell the mines.
Base is under attack. One of our buildings has been destroyed. An energy connector has been destroyed. Ashley, are you still skeptical about the local creature's level of aggression?
I'm skeptical about the procedures for prepping this planet for colonization.
Oh, I forgot to
Humanity
put
lost
power
its
on
love for
those.
nature after the Yellowstone
Wow.
eruption. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to preserve this ecosystem.
Earth is barely habitable at this point. We have to secure Galatea 37 for colonization and resource extraction as soon as possible. Excessive care about the local environment is unnecessary.
That's not entirely true. Other rift-breaking missions have already secured a number of resource-rich planets for humanity.
Get repaired
We're
up.
on the brink of
Actually, we don't
extinction.
even need, because we're going to sell all
Our
this.
goals on this mission are clear, and our survival and security is the top priority. Damage to the ecosystem is inevitable. You wanted to come here yourself, and you knew what has to be done. Are you doubting the mission?
I know what has to be done. That's not the point. Galatea has to be prepared for colonization. I don't doubt that. If I didn't come here myself, then someone else would have. I believe that we can do this in a better way. We have to defend ourselves and secure the necessary resources to set up the rift station. But we don't have to destroy all the wildlife we encounter. Humanity doesn't need another stripped-down factory world. If we want to progress as a species, then we should study this planet and learn how to blend with the environment and prepare a safe home for humanity. The fog is clearing up.
It looks like we have the base up and running. If you'd like to construct more advanced buildings, you'll have to upgrade the headquarters building. Unfortunately, this process also emits a lot of high-frequency energy waves.
These creatures are clearly drawn to our energy emissions, so it will be like an alarm bell for them. We should strengthen our defenses before upgrading the HQ.
So there we go. And we're back to here. We've survived the first wave. We will get for the upgrading of the HQ building, which will trigger a pretty big wave. And that should deal with our power. So I love personally to have a crazy amount of mineral storage.
Not enough carbonium.
Not enough carbonium.
We're up to a fairly good start, I would think. So each one of these increases our storage, I believe, by 200? Yeah, 200. So we'll just gather up some resources a little bit here. Could expand out, gather these two mines too. They would just be outpost mines. So we'd sacrifice them during raids. You only protect a couple. Yeah, maybe we'll do that real quick before we actually initiate the raid.
The wind is picking up speed.
Wind speed is at an exceptional high. Wind turbine efficiency is at maximum.
So that should sufficiently grow us, or bring us out enough res. So we'll go ahead and build our defense for the next wave here. Now I don't have much for impassable terrain, but I would like to protect this mine, and base. So we'll go ahead and we'll use this one. And then maybe we'll leave that mine. That's quite a bit of area that we will have to protect. Double wall.
Wind speed is returning back to typical values. Wind turbine efficiency returning to normal.
And we didn't even fill up all our power with that. Doesn't have to reorganize the space once we get a better setup going, because not being able to pass through the building structures themselves is, it's like this, and through here wasn't very well done, let's just say that. Lots of misclicks. I'm hoping, and it usually does hit on a corner, but every once in a while it won't. Just put one out. That should get us everything, yeah. So now we're ready. Let's go ahead and slap down a couple more. Expensive. And we can go ahead and get this going.
Headquarters upgraded.
So in here is your research slots. You can do base, weapons, and alien research technology. Then your menu, this is where you equip different weapons. I guess I could have showed this right off the get-go, but right now we don't have much to equip. The blaster, myself, I find this weapon actually to be not very useful. It does do splash damage, so that does help, but so does your sword, and it's quicker. But what we're going to do is build a shotgun. And you can equip multiples of the same item in your upgrade slot. So we'll go ahead and do that, as this is the only one we can build, so I built 3 of them. Appearance. I do have some different appearances. Maybe we should play around. No mods. Small mines. This will be your orbital scanner, so where you jump from positions on the planet to another. Your beastinary and your journal settings.
Progress. This will attract a lot of attention.
So we are getting them from this corner and this corner, so we will bolster it.
Save this world if we let it kill us. Hey, Mr. Grumpy?
Why do you insist on calling me names?
I hope you're not offended, are you?
No, that would be inefficient.
Come on, Riggs. Let's not be so serious. I had to give you a better name than what they called you.
Rift Jump and Exploration Megasuit Mark IV, Griffin variant. What is wrong with that name?
It's inefficient.
So I'm just building extra walls here. Pretty much walls are your best friend on Brutal. And I will remain inside this area. For the initial wave. They will break through.
I can sense the ground shaking. I estimate a few thousand creatures running at our base. They are very close. Prepare yourself, Ashley.
I should have
We've
sold
made all the preparations
these.
that we could. Let's go out and meet them.
Might be able to still... no.
Base is under attack. One of our buildings has been destroyed.
Just say that doesn't really feel like Brutal, but I think the actual tough wave is coming from the north. Oh, we got...
One of our energy connectors has been destroyed. Base is under attack. We should start downloading new blueprints so we can construct more advanced buildings and items. Build a communications hub as soon as possible.
Okay, let's remember to build some additional power plants for it. It consumes a lot of energy. An energy connector has been destroyed.
Threat neutralized.
This will buy some time until the next attack. Let's check what's new after the HQ upgrade.
That seemed really easy.
Communications hub construction in progress. We can download all the technology blueprints that we need through this building's quantum entanglement template matrix.
It's a pity that we can't upload anything back to Earth. There's so much data to be gathered here. I can't wait to start collecting research specimens.
We will be able to share all of our research data as soon as the Rift station is operational and the Rift back to Earth has been opened. Let's focus on that first.
Get our mines back up and running. There we go. So now we can go into here and see our upgrades. So the first one I'm going to do right away is the spear. And then we will do orbital scanner, the cobalt detector, and I think, yeah, there. So the armory. We should have sufficient power during the daytime. Hopefully we're gaining through 24-hour period on our total power.
Constructing an interplanetary rift station. It is going to take a long time to build, so we should start working on it as soon as possible.
That's true. It's a massive building with multiple components and pipeline connections for plasma fuel and coolant. It's going to be the central structure in our base, with multiple support buildings, so we should plan a lot of free space around it. Let's start by placing the foundation.
Oh, we got a fairly decent setup now. We could go explore a little bit, hopefully get a couple mods for our weapons. Maybe find some
storage is full.
resources.
We should construct more storage buildings.
Lucky that didn't kill me. I should go through and destroy all these, so that doesn't happen. And I probably would have died there had I not had the upgrades, the 3 upgrades that I equipped there. So that's good. Very good thing. Very cheap, very effective. Basically we're gonna be waiting the next little bit. I will record doing some exploring. If there's anything interesting, maybe I'll show you.
A new technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting.
So we did get our spear. Get that built right away.
Research completed.
Get rid of the sword.
Crafting completed.
Looks like we're on the edge of the map. Never noticed that. It's also kind of lame. I like being positioned in the middle of the map, especially for the random events.
The wind is picking up speed. Loose objects are starting to fly.
So, while looking around, it's good to. There's random events
These strong winds can make our life easier.
that you can
Wind
find.
turbines
These
are spinning
guys
like
are
crazy.
very dangerous and hard to see. Cloak. See how quick the spear is able to decimate large mobs. Compared to the sword, it is far superior.
The wind is calming down. Wind turbine power output is coming back to normal.
Nothing quite interest in these. Also, the sphere does like a slow down attack. That's super effective, especially large mobs.
Ironium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
Carbonium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
They're completely full on resources and they're old. We could for power expand the circumference of the base. Then we would need turrets, more power. Right now we're sitting pretty good. Let's take a bit. So, orbital scanner's still 2 minutes away from being done. So let's work on that. We'll expand the base a little bit. We'll get the iron mine into the circumference of the main base. basically mining as quick as I am building. So we'll look at more battery.
A new technology has been developed.
New buildings are available for construction.
I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards our position.
Lucky. Lucky they're coming from up here with the base being in the process of expanding. And of course that happens, but that's fine.
Danger! A hostile swarm is moving in on our base. They are almost upon us.
Base is under attack.
Wall destroyed.
Hopefully it doesn't go for my mines up north. They shouldn't, but they might.
Base is under attack.
It just doesn't feel like it's in
Technology
brutal.
has been developed. New blueprints are available for crafting.
There is a breach in our walls.
It looks like the weather's calming down. Wind is getting slower. The wind is very slow today.
Well, this is a good spot, I think, to end this episode. Thanks for joining me, and hope to see you in the next episode. Jungle out. So now that the mine's back up and running, I think this is a perfect time to end the episode. We got the base set up fairly well.
Carbonium
Nice
deposit
defensive
depleted.
structures. Also have our researchers going, and
Storage is full.
Wind is picking up again.
else?
Power generation
Power,
is back to normal.
resources. Really, we have nothing to worry about. So this is a good start, I would have to say. Well, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Riftbreaker with Jungle.